thanks for choosing to come see Jazz Studies. We have 6 tunes for you today of varied parts of the genre, some Latin tunes, some swing tunes, lots of great stuff for you today. We've got some vocalists that are singing with the band as well. Just a few reminders again about the space in the PAC. You're probably going to get sick of us reminding you, but it's hard to know how many of you have already been here for a performance today or not. But please keep your feet off the seats. Gum is not allowed in this space, as well as food or drink are not allowed in this space. So thanks so much for keeping this a very positive and respectful space that we have the luxury of having in our high school. Also, with jazz is a little bit different than some of the things that you may have heard this morning, where like clapping after a soloist does their thing is totally encouraged. I'll prompt you for that the first couple times and then you'll get the hang of it, no problem. And then, just have a great time. Our first tune is by Chick Corea. It's an arrangement of Spain. Actually, if you listen to the studio recording from the 70s, it's pretty sweet. There's like spoken harmonized vocals and like electronic flute. So it's pretty cool. We don't have any electronic flutes here today, but you'll like it all the same. So please welcome Jazz Studies, everybody. the Caden Cruiser on the flugelhorn, Lincoln Hoy on the alto saxophone, and June Burnquist on the tenor saxophone. Everybody give it up. Our next tune is called Molten Swing, and this tune is a traditional jazz standard, so it takes the tempo down a little bit. Very, very swingy. We hope you enjoy it. trumpet, and June Burkus on the tenor saxophone. One more time, everybody. For our next tune, we're going to welcome Leah to the microphone. Honestly, while we make this transition, there are many students in this group that are not playing their primary instrument. Raise your hand if you are playing a secondary instrument for you. Yeah, and they switch around, and learning multiple instruments is really fun to do, but especially for jazz, it gives a new dimension to what students can learn. So Leah is a vocalist by trade, but also plays bass clarinet in band and some saxophone in jazz, and she's going to come up and sing a song called Chega de Saudade, which means no more blues in Portuguese. This is a bossa nova. saxophone, and Miles Nimchek on the timbales. Everybody, one more time. Our next tune is also a vocal tune, and it features Leah again, but she's going to be joined by a friend here, Gus Sampson. While Gus takes off his Barry saxophone and hands it to the other Gus, Fabry. We're also going to bring up our student teacher this year is Mr. Veal, Mr. Malik Veal from UW-Madison, and he has been working with these students on this tune. So, Mr. Veal, take it over.
This is a ballad called The Very Thought of You.
This next tune is called Manteca by Dizzy Gillespie. Some of you might recognize Dizzy Gillespie as the trumpet player who had the bell that stuck like way up in the air and puffed cheeks. Anyway, Dizzy wrote this tune with his bandmates on the bus after a gig that they bailed on in Georgia. And the club owner at the time that Dizzy was his band, he brought them down to play this gig. The club owner was refusing to accommodate the musicians who were black with the same accommodations as the musicians who were white. And Dizzy actually had one of the most, the first integrated bands with black and white musicians in the United States at the time. So the club owner was a real jerk, and he was like, no, you can't have the same hotel rooms, you can't eat in the same place, etc. And Dizzy was like, okay, then we ain't playing. And they left. And the word on the street is that it did get a little bit hairy with the club owner, and they almost came to blows. And so on the bus, they were just riffing on dissing this guy. So this is a diss track about the club owner. And you'll hear a little quote in the brass at first, the saxophones at first. And you'll hear, I'll never go back to Georgia. I'll never go back, no way. And so that little lick is what they started riffing on the bus, and it just turned into this tune. So yeah, enjoy our diss track. Give it up for Gus Faber on the tenor saxophone and Angel Diaz-Hernandez on the trombone, everybody. Our last tune is an up-tempo swing tune. This one's called Symphony and Riffs by Benny Carter. And this is a Jazz at Lincoln Center arrangement, which is an educational organization at Lincoln Center in New York City that takes really high-quality jazz music and arranges it for high school students, and they do an essentially Ellington Festival every year. This tune was our tune that qualified us for state solo and ensemble for jazz this year. So we performed that at District. It qualified us for state along with Spain, which was the first tune that you heard today. And then we replaced this one with Moten Swing. So we'll be playing Moten Swing and Spain, which was the first tune that you heard. We'll be playing that on April 25th at UW-Platteville for the State Solo and Ensemble Festival. So we thank you so much for your attention and your energy, and thanks for clapping for all the soloists, everybody. This is Symphony and Riffs by Benny Carter. Sometimes I forget to move the microphones. trombone. Who am I missing? Gavin Thompson on the vibraphone. Jazz Studies 2026, everybody.